Today we're going to talk about pigs. It's one of the most useful animals. We'll get into that. But first, I want to get into just 3 myths, okay? Pigs are dirty. Not true. With enough space, they're going to pick an area to go to the bathroom, and then they're going to keep the rest of it clean. Pigs always smell. A lot of times you're smelling the urine when it gets wet. Doing a deep litter method really helps a lot. Good management, rotation, larger paddocks, all these things can help. And then there's really not barely any smell at all. Pigs can live on grass. Some breeds, they graze really well, but they will need supplemental feed to stay healthy. I didn't say grain from the feed store, just supplemental feed. We'll get into that. Yeah, let's talk about breeds, okay? So there's modern commercial breeds, but before that, there was heritage, and they have really flavorful meat. They're more lean, good mothers. They're good on pasture and garden scraps, and they're great for silvopasture and permaculture systems, especially flipping raw land. But here in the U.S., we have like the large blacks. They are a long-bodied grazing pig, which have really rich meat. Old spots, they're white with black spots, even though they look pink. And then red wattles, which we had. American guinea hogs, they are one of the smaller pasture pigs and similar to Kune. Tamworth is like an Irish bacon pig. Ossabaw, which is from the Spanish pigs left on the Georgia island in the 1500s. That was very, very cool. When I was doing my research on pigs before we went with red wattles, they were fascinating to me. Kune is technically from New Zealand and not on the U.S. heritage, but they do share similar traits, and they can be, whatever. Lots of people have them, so honorable mention, okay? We had red wattles. They were very friendly. They were a great size. They're great moms. No big deal. But oh my gosh, the fencing. They're large, but they're actually incredibly agile and very, very smart. Even though they were calm and things, like they just kept finding, and no matter what we could do, we could not do electric at that time where we had them. Nightmare. I would always, moving forward, use electric fencing with like the strong physical panels. Because even the calm pigs, they'll take off, and they're curious, they're adventurous, they're very, very smart. So I would definitely always do that. But choosing a heritage pig, again, it keeps the genetics alive. You still get your pork. They're hardy, they can graze, root, all that stuff. And whatever breed you pick, as long as you have just somewhere where they can stay dry, if it's bad weather, a really solid fence, honestly, they're very easy to take care of at that point. But they do need management so that you can monitor the fence and their feeding regimen.